All right.
It's cracking.
So much yourself.
All good, all good. Just chilling, man. Lockdown.
Yeah. Growing the mo.
Yeah, I had a little competition with one of my mates, and he shaved today. So I think joke's on me.
you went
So
ahead. You went ahead and shaved the barnet as well.
I shaved that about 2 weeks ago. I got my little brother to do it. He's a qualified barber, so I don't know if he'd done a good job of it.
So what's the crack? You were working in Dublin, weren't you? So what's the crack with you at the moment? Like you're an Oma now, are you?
Yeah, I came home just after, well, just before kind of everything locked down. Um, I had my sister's wedding on the 13th of March, which was like a day before kind of everything locked down.
Yeah, yeah,
We were the last wedding in the north of Ireland to have more than 100 guests. And
yeah,
the next day there was a wedding in the same hotel, and they had to cut 60 guests from their wedding. So yeah, so we got the wedding in time, and then I was meant to go down and get some stuff in Dublin from my apartment, but I still haven't been able to get down to my apartment, like a
yeah.
month and a bit later, like.
And you like you're obviously still working obviously over your laptop and that, are you?
Not really. It's been hard, like, because I just do some security shifts up here for my mum's the company that my mum works for. Um, it sort of it helps me out a little bit with rent down in Dublin, even though I'm not down there at the moment. I still
Yeah.
have to be paying, So it's been tough, living up here and then paying rent down there.
Jeez, that must break your heart. And I can't imagine the rent is cheap either.
It's horrible. It's heartbreaking, but I was able, like, it was worth paying it to be down to Dublin and train with some of my teammates and my
Yeah,
coach. So I found it worth it. And then with my girlfriend working down there as well, so I think both of us thought
yeah.
it was worth it.
So I have to say, so last time I actually saw you like in person was at the Failey card, and you're doing Callum, your little brother's corner. I have to say, I know I'm only looking at it through a laptop now, but you look half the man that you were then.
Uh, I
I think that was like the week before you started properly back training, wasn't it? When I saw you.
yeah, I think it was. That was August 6th or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Last year. So yeah, I was probably halfway through my years sort of settling in Dublin. So
yeah,
I was still kind of still getting used to living away from home and training with a different coach, getting settled in,
yeah.
and and then just I didn't really start training fully till around November, December,
Hmm.
and then I really just put my foot down and said, you need to start looking at your future here. You need to start knuckling down so you can have your first pro fight.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of changed my mentality.
Mhm.
And I just went full steam ahead.
Yeah. So originally, how did you get into boxing? Like, is your family
I,
a boxing family or?
I will. I got into boxing when I was around 7 years of age. My older brother boxed for a local boxing club called Greencastle Boxing Club. Um, and then I started dancing after that. So it was kind of like an old shed out in the middle of nowhere in the mountain,
Yeah.
um, where a bunch of culties and farmers went to train. And you didn't care what weight you were. They didn't care what size you were. They didn't care what age you were. You were just thrown in with anybody, and you were soon found that you were just in there for survival. And at 7 years of age, it was tough. Like I boxed for a year, and then I just couldn't take it anymore. For a 7-year-old to get beatings like that, it was horrible. I
Yeah.
quit for a year then until I was around 9, and then that boxing club then folded. And we moved to a different boxing club in Oma, which is
Yeah.
Oma Boys and Girls Club. And my granddad had previously been the head coach of that boxing club back in the 60s. So uh, I found it was like almost like a legacy that I moved to that boxing club. And then I trained then hard because I had loads of friends. It was much more of a structured boxing club.
Yeah.
We looked after the kids more. You know, it was more child protection in that boxing club. But and then 11 years of age, won my first Irish title for Owen Boys and Girls Club. And around a year later, I think my father was the head coach at that time. Then when I had won my first Irish title, and then around between 11 and 12, we moved out of the town, and my mum and dad built a house out in the country, and we had a garage, so we transformed the garage into a boxing club called Sacred Heart Boxing Club, and we had our own boxing club and that's it. Then my whole teenage life a boxer Sacred Heart Boxing Club. Just literally about 20 yards beside my house. So it was outside the door.
Yeah. You fought some big names that are now pros as well. You fought like Sean McComb. That was one that you had. A lot of our Ireland's and Ulsters as well. Like, but what was your highlights of your amateur career in those title fights?
My highlights were mostly youth titles. But there were high level youth titles. Like some people say that youth titles don't really count, but that's where you kind of get your experience growing up. That's where you get your muscle memory. That's where you find it hard. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah. So it's better teaching them young, you know. So I could be away from boxing for a year, and I found that where I've been away from boxing for a year, but as soon as I get back in the ring, I've still got the skills, I've still got the talent, and that's what I found. But yeah, I think my highlights would have been going to the World Championships at under 18 level for my country. Went away to Bulgaria with a full team. I mean, this team was a cracking team. Yeah. We had Johnny Joyce, who's pro now. We had Willie O'Donoghue. Who was a junior world champion. We had Brendan Irvine. We had Wayne Kelly. We had Gary Cully. We had me. We had Luke Thomas. We had some fighters on that squad, and then we had some of the girls as well, which was Christina Desmond and Christina O'Hara, Kira Ginty. So we had a cracking team, and just something went wrong at them World Championships. We weren't getting decisions. A lot of stuff didn't go our way. Yeah. We thought there was a little bit of corruption on the side, as one of our national coaches had almost took a breakdown because he seen too much corruption. Well, not our coaches, sorry, he was a referee and judge. He took a breakdown and just started giving out about all the corruption in the AABA, and he was effectively banned from the sport at them World Championships. So I thought, with him being from Ireland and us being Irish, I thought we were being punished because of it. Yeah. And that's when I kind of second really seen the corruption in the Irish boxing, not just Irish boxing, but the world boxing, the ABA.
Well, I think Gary spoke to me about that as well. He's talked about those championships, and he says, you know, I've seen Russians lose 5 fights in a row, but still be European champion or world champion, and that kind of goes back to the story that everyone knows about Michael Collins, like in Azerbaijan, basically an Azerbaijan firm had been found to pay the IABA 10 million into a bank account, and 5 million of it just went missing. But yeah, that's like, people think the pros is corrupt. Yeah, yes and no. Like it depends what you're saying, but when it's amateurs and there's no money in it, and the judges aren't getting paid anything, but if they're getting offered 100,000.
All right, being shafted for money, but if you're being shafted for no money, so you feel almost just cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could probably go on and on and on about amateur boxing, and my experiences, and I'm sure a lot of the boxers you've interviewed that had a good amateur career, could go on about amateur boxing, but I think the most important thing here, we're here to talk about my professional career, so
Yeah.
I really just want to leave behind my amateur career. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care about my titles. I just want to win titles in my professional career.
Were you like Callum? Like you just wanted to turn up to be a pro, and like Callum kind of said he was just sick of the amateurs. And I've interviewed loads, like Reese Moore, and he was sick of the amateurs. The corruption. Deco was the same. Loads of the same. But did you have your mindset like I'm going to be a pro?
Yeah, I always knew I was going to be a professional after my amateur career ended. I just didn't know when my amateur career was going to end and when I was going to make that decision. Going through my youth, going through my teenage years, I always thought I was going to head for the Olympics. Just sometimes things don't go your way, and you have to make these tough choices to move on with your career, and. Not that I was sick of everything in amateur boxing. I just think it was about time that I moved on. I didn't think that I was gonna go anywhere where I was at in amateur boxing. I could see fellas already being moved in for places like in Tokyo. They're already being put in place for it. Everybody has their favourites, so you don't want to be waiting around another 4 years to be just stepped aside to be a sparring partner again. You kind of want to be in your own front light. You want to be your own show, So I didn't want to be another sparring partner, and I felt like that's where I had to move
on. There was a bit of a gap between when you kind of finish your amateur and now when you're turning pro. I know in that time, just when you're coming kind of to the end of your amateur career, you were sparring with Conor for his fight with Mayweather, and then you kind of took a little bit of time out. Is there any particular reason why you took that time out before you made the decision to turn pro?
I needed the mental break. I needed the physical break as well from my own body. I just felt I had given 15 years already, 13 years already at 20 years of age, the sport of boxing, that I think 13 years is a long time without a break.
Yeah.
I had no teenage life. Like, I had no normal teenage life. I was always training. I missed birthdays, I missed parties, I missed going out with my friends. I missed normal teenage stuff. And at 20 years of age, just sat myself down and says, look, your mental health isn't right here. You need to sit down with yourself and have a talk. Do you want to still box anymore? And it says, I still want to box, but I think you need a break. And if you want to start boxing again, you need to start loving it again. And start falling in love with the sport of boxing, which I had fallen out of love with. But the last year or so, when I looked at myself in the mirror and I just thought, what are you doing with yourself? You need to just get back on the treadmill, keep moving forward. So that's what I've done. And I took myself time to mentally and physically start pushing myself to the limits I was at when I was at a 20-year-old. And it was only them short 2 years that I had done that so much damage to myself, which I put on loads of weight. And I even thought that my mental health even got worse being away from boxing, because I wasn't exercising. I was out doing all sorts. I was out partying. I was out drinking.
Yeah.
I was in New York for 3 months, and I was in Canada for a month. I was out there. I was meant to go out there and do a bit of training, but I just ended up going out and coaching at a boxing club and partying the rest of the days. So, so I think it was just about time where I said to myself, let's get back on the ball. Let's keep moving forward and don't let my talent go to waste. Because it's easy. You can go 10 years without noticing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden your career's gone. I've talked to people, of friends that had done the exact same thing at 20, 21 years of age and never really got back into boxing, and they're only getting back into boxing at 30, 31 years of age. And they've said to me, look, get back on your thing, because you'll really regret it. You'll really, really regret it.
Yeah.
And I think it really stuck with me.
It's crazy when with mental health in that aspect, like, you know, when there's people that go through the issues, and look, everyone's kind of experienced it in some form of way, but like, you were someone who trained all the time, and through stress you took a step away from the sport, but then when your life changes, where you're doing all the other stuff, you know, you think to yourself, when you're experiencing it, people throw medication in and all this stuff, but then it's like, right, well, first of all, let's get back training first, and let's start eating well first, and then let's see. Yeah. And that's kind of happened with you, you know. But the great thing is with you is because that never left you, that kind of work ethic, you know. Like, when I saw you in the Fairy, and then the next week I saw online that you were going to be back training and being a pro, I knew straight away in my head, I was like, I guarantee the next time I meet him, he's going to be completely different. Like, you know, he's going to, because once, as a boxer, it never leaves you. If you want to lose weight, you just lose it. Do you know what I mean? And you just do it. And I just knew in mind, I was like, next time I see him, he's going to be half the man that he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, at my highest weight, I was sitting nearly 16 stone. Yeah. You know, so I'm now sitting around 12 and a half, touching 12. Yeah. So I'm well down proud of myself for getting down that 3.5 stone from maybe August last year. You know, so I can only see myself moving. I mean, shooting forward at this pace I'm going at. Mm-hmm. You know.
And I'd say, since you've got back training, as time's going on, even though it's tough at the start, and sometimes you feel like you're running on fumes with you changing your diet and that, I'd say as time's going on, you notice your footwork's getting that a little bit quicker. You feel that much sharper. That's probably just giving that extra drive every day. Then once you see come back, you know.
I know, like, to be fair, even me at 90 kilo, at 86 kilo, I was still sharp. Funny enough, if you ask Stephen Orourke, my coach, and all the fellas in the gym, you know, I was still sharp as fuck at a heavy weight. But it was just, the only thing was, I was punching a lot harder. You know, because I had the weight behind my punches. Like, even, like, what was it? It was like 4 months ago. I'd done a few rounds with Deco, and I just had to say, I just had to kind of say to myself, Tiernan, you're about 20 kilos heavier than him. He's making weight here. We'll just lower down the punching power, and we'll work on our speed. And he had no head guard on or anything like that.
Yeah, that's typical Deco in other words. It's like
he was sharp. He was sharp as hell. I think he was getting ready for the Archie Sharp fight at that.
Yeah, that was in September.
Yeah. And but even with me saying that I was sharp as hell at a heavy weight, I could still feel myself that I could get sharper. I could get as sharp as Deco whenever I lose my weight, you know. Yeah. And I just thought to myself, wait till you see yourself when you do get down your weight, when you do get your fighting weight, you'll be sharp as hell. And it kind of made me realise how sharp I can get, how sharper I can get, you know. Yeah. And that's when I thought to myself, right, we need to get on the ball, and you're agreeing to start shifting the weight more, you know. Yeah. Changed my mentality for the good, you know, even though I was at a good stage at that point. I thought to myself, right, I'm going to start pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
You know.
Over the last year, your younger brother Callum's been pro. He's had about 4 fights, and you've been in his corner pretty much for all of them.
Yeah.
Did that kind of him signing with MTK and him, like, did that kind of motivate you, drive you a little bit, being there going, you know what, I want to do this?
Massively. Seeing Callum's even first fight when Cummings and Keeler show was on, like Callum was like right before Keeler and Cummins, so the place was packed with Tyrone ones, which was our hometown ones, and it was packed with Dubs, and it was some atmosphere, you know. Even the cheering for Callum in that first fight was immense. Like when I walked out with a Tyrone flag, funny enough, Lee Eaton pulled me to the side and says no flags in the hall. And I was like, it's a county flag, you know. It's not a Northern Ireland flag or an Irish flag. You know, it's a county flag. It's nothing derogatory, but I just wouldn't expect him to know because he's from England, you know. But I think he was going to think that there was some sort of row to kick off.
Yeah.
But even like that show was a belter of a show. Yeah. And then McCallum's second fight, then I think there was an Ulster Hall as well, and then the Failure show was just amazing. Like I was sitting front row for my Conlon's fight. We said a few friggin' fellas from Ballier, and I was just chatting absolute crap with them. And it was great crack. So it was. But it put into my head that I could be here. You know. I just thought to myself, like, I want to be headlining these shows someday. Yeah. I know I've got the talent to headline these shows. I know I've got the skills to be able to entertain such massive crowds. So, it really put it, as you says, like a week later I was in the gym, I was training. It really put my motivation through the roof.
Yeah. So you're training in Orourke's gym, Stephen O'Rourke's gym, and you've got like his young fella there, and your friend Victor training there.
Yeah.
And obviously Craig McCarthy and a few others. What made you choose to train with Stephen?
What made me choose Stephen was when I was around when I was 20. It was about 2 or 3 months prior to when I was going away to spar Connor. He took me over to Manchester to spar Tyrone Nurse, me and Victor.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, like, I barely know this coach, and he's got so much faith in me to bring me over sparring somebody he knows, you know. And he looked after me. We worked well in the corner when we were there. We just hit it off, you know. So, and I know a lot of the guys in the boxing gym as well. Like, I went away with Tony Brown to Australia before. So I've got a good relationship with him, and with Victor, I've built up a massive relationship with Victor from that time we were over sparring Tyrone Nurse. And me and Victor had sparred a lot prior to that as well. So I think that was my defining move, that I work well with the team. I know the guys in the boxing gym, and I work well with Stephen, and I believe in Stephen's coaching abilities. The man's a knowledgeable man, and I believe that he could probably push me on to my next level in pro boxing.
Yeah. And how are you enjoying it? How are you enjoying the training and the setup?
Good. I really enjoy the training. You know, some of the stuff's very unorthodox from my amateur career. You know, most of my amateur career was mostly on the back foot, defensively, you know. So I'm working with Stephen. He's really got me to settle down my feet, you know, use my feet only when I need it. Sitting down my shots, getting my power in, making sure I don't lean back so I'm losing my power. And he's got faith in me, you know. So I think training's going very well, and I think we work well together.
Mm-hmm. So you finally turned over pro. The people waiting for it was finally announced this week.
Yeah.
Your license, is it with the BUI, British Boxing Board of Control?
Yep, I'll be with the BUI. I think I've just got a few more things to do, and then I'll be all finalised, you know. So I've been getting this all sorted for the last few months, and I kind of just set myself up better time to do a press release than now when everybody's on their phones, when everybody's sort of looking down at the news.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a horrible time, you know. So I just thought, try to get it out there and just let everybody know, so that whenever the time comes, whenever lockdown's over, we can hit the ground running.
Yeah. And are you able to announce like what management promotional team you signed with, or?
Nothing yet. You know, I haven't signed with anybody yet.
Oh, you haven't, have you not? Okay.
No, we had a few things. We had a few things on the line with an American company. They were over here. They were snipping about, and they were ready to do some deals with us. But this lockdown hit. We had 3 dates. Well, I had 3 dates cancelled for me, from the April, May, and June. So, like, that was how soon it was going to be in if this whole coronavirus COVID-19 thing didn't happen. You know, so I could have been 3-0 by June. I could have had a date in April, could have had a date in May, and I could have had a date in June. Yeah. So, and now I could have been in Dublin. I could have been in the Ranking show in Waterford, and I could have been in New York. So there was 3 dates that was cancelled, and kind of disheartened me. But I just thought to myself, it'll give me more time to focus on myself, to get ready, and I promise everybody that I'm gonna put on a good show, my first pro fight.
Yeah, you and Callum doing plenty of sparring at the back.
Not really. We're concentrating on our cardio, on our strength and conditioning at the moment, you know. So I think social distancing is hitting that even in the house. You know, so
the American company, am I right in saying would it be the one that was looking to set up a show in Ireland? Would it be that one, or would it be the one that Victor's kind of associated with?
So that was the one that was looking to set up a show in Ireland. It was Impact Network.
Yeah.
They all of them were like, and they would have had Austin Trout coming over as well.
Yeah.
But we had massive deals. We had massive deals going on here, and like even 4 or 5 deals. And for us to be able to fight in Dublin, go to America, fight in Dublin, go to America. So it would have been like 4 fights before September. You know, they would have put it on every 6 weeks. You know, they had the power to do that, but it's just they couldn't strike a deal with the BUI. I think they ran a miss with the BUI, and
I'm not surprised at that.
You know, well, you know, the BUI, I think it's being run by one man and one man only, and I think it needs a lot of help in there. You know, they need new people coming in to help the man that's been running it, and I think for Irish boxing to move forward, I think everybody needs to help each other, not striking things down.
Yeah. The deal that like your brother, I imagine with MTK, possibly he's doing a ticket deal, is he, for most of his fights? But were you in contact with MTK as well? Were they in contact with you? And I suppose the American benefit, it was more down to an amount per fight rather than ticket deal. Is that right?
Yeah, that would have been right. Yeah, we would have just got our wage, you know, instead of a ticket sales.
That's every boxer's dream.
Yeah, so I'm half thinking with MTK, just because, like, with my little brother being on a ticket selling base, you know. So if me and him was on the same show, it would hurt his business and it would hurt my business.
Yeah.
You know, and like I don't care about making money at the start of professional boxing because nobody's making money at the start of professional boxing. I just want to get on shows, you know. So as long as I'm able to get the fights in, you know, I don't really care about making money. I was in contact with Jimmy about trying to get on one of the European Ulster Hall shows after we were told that the April 24th in Dublin wasn't coming off. And he was just saying like he had already filled his last spot, which is probably the Lee Rees against the fella that beat him.
Yeah.
So I was that close to getting on one of them shows.
Yeah. Ranking show. You were very close to being on that, were you?
Yeah, I think I was on it. To be fair, like with Stephen being my manager for now, he says, "Look, I've more or less got you on the show." You know, with Craig being our stablemate, with him headlining it. I think I was on the show, and I think a few other guys in the gym were maybe on the show. So with that not coming off as well, like the other day cancelled, like I was pushing towards that date. It's just unfortunately things just didn't turn out, you know. Because I would have brought a massive fan base down to Waterford with me. It would have been an amazing night. Yeah.
I remember what I was going to ask you now. So is welterweight the weight class you want to campaign at?
Yeah, welterweight's going to be the weight class I'm going to campaign at. So that's going to be the weight I'm going to be the most sharpest at. It's probably the lowest weight I'm going to get down to, you know.
Yeah.
There's some big guys the weight, you know, but I believe I can beat them with my skill alone. Like I sparred some of the top welterweights in the country. I've sparred some of even the top light welterweights in the country and in the world. To be fair, like I think it was maybe September, October. Like we were sparring in England, and I got sparring with Jack Catterall. I got sparring with a few other guys in the Jimmy Murr gym. So it was good to get over there and spar with some of the guys that are up there and even at the British level for myself, so I know what level I'm at, because the British level is right before European level, and with Jack Catterall being up there at the top of one of the best light welterweights, you know, in the world. It was great to get sparring with him, you know.
Yeah. And one lesson Tyrone McKenna said he always learned by boxing was never ever shoulder roll up against the ropes against Jack Catterall. He always says that.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say to you is, so have you been kind of looking at the Irish scene with welterweights? I know, like, ultimately you want to be kind of straight away fighting, not straight away, but ultimately you want to be getting ranking belts after a couple of years and things like that. But like Gary,
not even after a couple of years. Like if I have a few fights within my first year, I just want to be going straight into the titles, you know.
Yeah.
If I feel I'm good enough for to push for a welterweight title, like I'll push for that welterweight title. I haven't really looked at much of the welterweight scene in Ireland, you know. So
yeah,
like with one of my good mates, Lewis Crocker, like he's pushing on towards European level. Like that man's like pushing it, you know. So like I want to follow where he's going, like his route. Like he's fast tracking himself, you know. Like his like the pace he's going at, you know, it could be pushing for maybe world honours in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
like the rate he is going at, you know. Like even with his last fight against John Thane, I was weighing even John Thane up. Like I know John Thane very well. I trained with him in Marbella, MTK Marbella, and I was sparring Ronnie Clark at that time, and
Ronnie, yeah.
But like with me even moving up to welter, was weighing John Thane up, like even for a potential fight as well, and but like I'm not just looking in Ireland, I'm looking at guys outside of Ireland as well, in America and the UK. So, like maybe nobody will want to fight me at welterweight in a few years' time, there mightn't be nobody at welterweight. In a few years' time,
Yeah.
might nobody want to be willing to fight me for an Irish title. So might have to just bypass that and head towards European, or WBC, something like that.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say was, like Gary Cully, like he wanted to go the traditional route. And obviously in Ireland, look, doesn't matter if you want to win a world title or not. Everyone would love to have an Irish title on the way up, but the problem in Ireland is having a dance partner, And for you, like I was going to say that, so like Boxing Ireland have Owen O'Neill, and he's a massive, massive ticket seller. Obviously he wouldn't have had the amateur career that you had, but he fills out Devonish, and I think MTK had a pullout on their show last year. I think it was June or something like that. But they literally got Owen on last minute because they knew he could sell tickets. He sold like 100 tickets in like 2 weeks, and he's had 4 fights now, and that would be a great one in terms of attendance and things like that. That would sell out for an Irish title. And
I'm happy to do it.
And he'll be eligible for a Celtic title at some stage, very soon actually. I think they want him to fight for one. So, that could be a great one, especially up north for you to.
You're right. I would love to do that. Like I've seen some of the videos of one fighting, and I just think he's just maybe not at that level yet. Like he's not at my level yet. Like even with me being out for the last 2 years, like I watched him. I actually done one of my club mates. Boxed him in Ulster Intermediates. He put up a post the other day that he didn't have a video of. He knocked him out in 30 seconds. So I was doing my club mate's corner and he knocked him out in 30 seconds. So I'd love to kind of get revenge for my club mate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That'd be great. That'd be a great one to see then. Yeah. That was Owen's only knockout as well. So.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It was just funny because I'd seen it up online, and I was in the corner when it happened, so I kind of thought to myself, let's get it on. I don't think it'll never be a problem for me, but like not being able to sell tickets, because I've always got guys that are gonna come to my boxing shows, like even Callum as well. Like me and Callum's got the exact same fan base, guys that have supported me have always supported Callum, and like at the Fela show, like Callum sold so many fucking tickets, like so many tickets.
Yeah.
He had more or less had a whole stand to himself,
Yeah.
And so I really don't think that I could ever be taken off a show just because it didn't sell any tickets.
No. And it always helps when it's a card like that. If Mickey Collins fighting, like you won't ever have a problem selling tickets,
No.
And then it's great to get seen at those cards as well, like when I was there, it was quite early. It was only like the second fight, third fight. By the time your brother was fighting, there was Andy Lee was watching, Patrick Donovan, obviously Barry Jones and Kelly Harrington, stuff like that. So it's always great to be seen at those things,
Oh yeah, it's getting your name out there. It's getting people talking. It's just getting that backing behind you. It's pushing on forward, and if they're seeing you and they're commenting or liking on your posts on social media, and they're commenting under some of your stuff, and other people sees that, their fans come on board with you then. So it's just all about generating growth, and that's what I'll be doing from day dot. Generating growth and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what some of the guys are doing in Ireland. Get Sean McComb, Gary Cully. They're just constantly generating growth, and all of a sudden they're just going to be too big for Ireland. They're going to be too big for everybody in Ireland, and they're just going to push on towards world honours, towards European honours.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think that's mostly it. But look,
no problem,
Tiernan, enjoy your isolation as much as you can. Do you have anything else to say at home?
Nope. just keep looking out for me. Keep looking at my posts. My posts will give hints of when my next fight is. And enjoy this lockdown while it lasts. But the hard work will soon begin. And thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, and hopefully I'll see you in person very soon. Right.
You're right. Enjoy.
All right.
Stay safe.
Thanks very much.